Hey there, welcome back once again. It is time for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this well-loved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. It has been surfing my coffee table ever since and has been a source of great comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate right here, right now, today with you. Hello and welcome to the show. This is a 2004 Abrams Press publication. It is written, curated, and compiled by Les Daniels, Chip Kidd, and Jeff Spear. Indeed, there is a link to the Amazon page in the description where you can pick up your own copy. You can play along at home. It will look great on your coffee table, and it makes a great gift for a geek. I know. What goes better with a coffee table book and some coffee table talk? Well, pull up a chair to the coffee table and bring a cuppa of whatever it is you're drinking. And cheers, slancha, skull. And let's have some comic book talk. I'm going to wet my whistle. Very nice. Good cup of coffee. I love it. The golden age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The silver age between 1956 and 1970. The bronze age, I'm a bronze age baby myself, from 1970 until 1985. And the copper age begins in 1985. I get these definitions and structure from the glossary of the mighty Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, the most current edition. Get your own. It's great. This is a great source of information, and I find it to be a fair and valuable standard to have when talking about the ages of comic books, because that's what this show is basically all about. We start with the golden age of superheroes, but you know what? That's the foundation for the rest of it all. Allons-y. I only got 2 other books here I want to recommend to everyone. Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, The Invisible Art. This is a well-loved, much-read edition I got years ago from the same best friend. Seriously? This happens. And, yeah, this is about sequential art. It's about if then, before and after. It's about perspective. It's about segue. It's about style. It's about, there's so many little things to a comic book in its art and in its storytelling. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place for anyone to begin to sharpen their knife on this great hobby of ours. I love this. If you want to know how to read comic books, that's an instruction manual. This is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. This is a great book. I had this when I was a kid. I just got this like last week or so, and it's been a great ride. I love it's a how-to book. Marvel is trying to teach you how to draw comic books in your spare time, and these are their techniques, such as look at 2, but if you look at 2A, that's done the Marvel way, according to Stan Lee. And what has more dynamism? What has more kinetic energy in a 2-dimensional static image? That's imagination at play and at work. Huzzah! I love what we're doing. I love what we're talking about. And let's get to it. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Indeed. We use this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. We open up to today's date. It is September the 7th. We're going to look at some art from a comic book of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. Here we go. I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're feeling well. And I hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Yeah, this is my business card. I also use it as a a bookmark now. I think that's cute. I think that's fun. And speaking of the super sigil, that's this is a mock-up of the Superman logo. That's an Om. I call this the super mantra. I drew this. It's meant to look like that, a little rough, a little childlike, kind of like done in crayon or something. It's meant to convey that youthful spirit. And let's never use that. Let's never lose that. It's an intrinsic part of why we love comics. A lot of us have had them since we were children. Yeah. And it's September 7th. And this is an advertisement from Flash Comics number 6. June of 1940, which is interesting because this is when this particular radio serial premiered for its 11-year run. Superman is on the radio. Boom, 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 boom. Sponsored by the makers of Force. Over the following stations. Watch your newspaper for additional stations. And if you could see there, which one's your city? Which one's your station? Is it still operational? Leave that in the comments section. I would like to know. What are your call sign letters? Mine are WBZ, Boston. And from 8 to 8:15, we're going to listen to Superman, sponsored by Kellogg's. Usually PEP, P-E-P. These are breakfast cereals. I researched the show, and I got trapped in a rabbit hole of wikis about the history of breakfast cereal. I love this kind of information. I'm a professional chef. This is great. Breakfast cereals really didn't, come into, to be until the late 19th century, like the 1850s, the 1860s. And it started with, rolled oats. And then somewhere down the line, before World War I, there at the 1904 World's Fair, there were raw grains shot with hot compressed air from tubes popping up to many times their size, and they were marketed as a revolution in food science. In 1925, Wheaties had become the breakfast of champions and started having popular athletes to advertise this brand of food. And then after World War II, come more of the kiddie brands that we know today. But Superman was sponsored by Kellogg's most of this time. Force here, the makers of Force is one of these breakfast cereals. And we're advertising these breakfast cereals to kids. And this is before World War II. Let's read the blurb and let's get to it, all right? Faster than a speeding bullet. Pew! More powerful than a locomotive. Chugga, 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 chugga. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. The opening of his radio show symbolized Superman's successful conquest of other media, making him popular with an extended audience beyond his core constituency of comic book fans. Running from 1940 to 1951, this radio program introduced key concepts from kryptonite to cub reporter Jimmy Olsen that were later incorporated into the comics. This early ad shows a few of the stations that eventually carried the adventures of Superman. The sponsor, Force, is a forgotten breakfast cereal. Indeed. And I have had the pleasure, and you could also have the pleasure too, of listening to these Superman radio serials from yesteryear. It was over a decade ago. I was turned on to an internet radio station, and I was very pleased to have shared this with my friends. And I'm doing this again today. They play old-time radio programming from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And remember, in 1951, the Adventures of Superman moved from radio to television. And from there on out, it was no longer a radio serial, but a black and white television show starring George Reeve as Superman, later on becoming color in its waning days. But, this is called Antioch, the Antioch Broadcasting Network. It's I'm gonna put the link in the description, and ABN playing today's date in history when available. So like right now, at this moment of taping the show, they're playing The Lone Ranger from September 5th, 1947. It's episode 2282, Frontier Town Lawyer. And the next episode will be after this. Oh no, they've been playing it all morning. Mrs. Sheriff came right before. No, Mrs. Sheriff will be the next episode, which is coming right after this. And they have a full programming of 24 hours of different old shows, like comedy, Abbott and Costello, Burns and Allen, Fibber, McGee and Molly, Jack Benny, The Martin and Lewis Show, The Mel Blanc Show. Yeah, they have mystery thriller theater, sci-fi, like Exploring Tomorrow, Dimension X, Space Patrol, Tales of Tomorrow, and X-1. But they still play the Superman radio show. And this is where I learned a lot about Superman and enjoyed these tales of the titular hero from yesteryear when he was fresh and new, and it was really fun. These radio plays have a full cast, sound effects, and music. And so currently on the ABN Antioch Broadcasting Network, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they play Superman at 3 p.m. and this is Central time, Central U.S. time. That would be 5 p.m. for me in Eastern United States. And that at 8:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 for me, they have the replay. So you can catch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday these very episodes of Superman from an age of yesteryear. I think that's really fun. You should check it out. It's sponsored by Kellogg's Pep, P-E-P, Pep. Superman wants you to eat Pep for breakfast. Be strong. Stuff like that. You hear the old radio bumps. And it's very charming. And I got hooked on it for a few years. It was also funny when Batman had a radio show as well. Batman was almost as popular as Superman. And Batman would occasionally have what we call today crossovers with the Superman radio show. And I loved the original voice actor of Batman. He had this city urban accent. Like I'm in Boston. We have an accent. We're very close to New York, to Manhattan, and the boroughs. They have their accent, which is maybe kind of familiar. Maybe is distant, but as local as Ireland is to Scotland. You know what I mean? And these these accents, you can tell where people are from. So Batman's radio play had this Gotham accent, like a real city slicker, like a real urban street person, and it was to differentiate himself from the Bruce Wayne character as well, I feel. But that's something that's kind of lost. Like Batman is very kind of well spoken, or even intimidating in the Chris Nolan one. I'm Christian Bale. Where's the trigger? That's the Batman voice, or Michael Douglas, like I'm the Batman. But this Batman had a real, genuine neighborhood accent. I really thought that was kind of fun. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. Tune into that Antioch Broadcasting Network on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday and check out the Superman radio show. Let me know in the comments which one of these radio stations would you have listened to the Superman show on if, we were back then. Mine, WBZ, eventually became a television station. It's still ongoing today. The radio station, AM 1310, it's a news station. It's always been. And then on the UHF dial back in broadcast TV, it was Channel 4. It was the NBC affiliate for decades. They recently switched over to CBS. But that's just business, huh? But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow, please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day. I talk about cooking. I'm a professional chef. I have a playlist called What's Cooking. Check it out. I'm also known as the Sultan of Soup. Yes, tell them Wes sent you and you'll get half off. Trust me. And I'm a spiritual guy, an ordained minister, an amateur theologian. We get spiritual here. We talk about purpose, gratitude, blessings. I also have another playlist called the Sunday Sermons and Gratitude Lists. Check that out. And thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again tomorrow in the funny pages, okay? Cheers. Bye-bye.